Hello everyone, it's Ink here, back with more Star Trek Armada 3 and more siege fleets being terrible. Grr, arg. Okay, we do have a couple of Excelsiors, which have been popped out. Okay, so we are killing these ships quite nicely, but we have lost Earth. So we're going to have to work out what to do with that. I think this is enough ships to deal with this fleet, fortunately. So we'll have to work out what we're doing with that, but for the moment we have a fleet to go around here, and try and claim Mercury, is our current plan, I think. Now in terms of other stuff, we have our starbase coming up here. I'm going to drop a trade center on that, just get that going so we can actually start off our big trade network. Which means we're actually going to also need a trading post here. Which I believe will turn our longest trade route into Jupiter, Io, Ganymede, Callisto, Alpha, Valadoid, Pluto, Charon. We are also, once we drop an outpost here, that'll also fully link up the trade links with the Dominion, so we can go all the way around here as well. So in the meantime, we have our little fleet doing its thing there. We have our reinforcements steadily killing the ships here. I mean, these are Borg vessels, which means that they are by definition bigger and scarier. A little more expensive as well, but individually an Obelisk, it has more firepower and more health than any cruiser I can build. But I also have a fair number of ships, so we will see what happens with that. And we do actually have our repair dock, which is helping to patch up our ships. Alrighty. Looks like our fleet is... Yep. Warping through, so we'll see what this looks like. This looks like a problem. We have a hostile assimilation cube. Now I think we do actually have enough firepower to take on a cube, and I think he knows it as well, because that thing is definitely pulling back.
Bring the phaser arrays online.
Yeah, he's bugging out. And so's that. So, let's get to work on breaking this area down.
Complete.
And there goes our starbase. Lovely. I'm going to drop a refinery station here. Just a little buffs everywhere. A little buffs everywhere, I think, is the key here. We have another research station, which we can get rid of here. Lovely. Alrighty, so we are not doing too badly. We're also actually nearly in a position where we can look at getting our Dreadnought ready. So let's sell off some resources. Yeah, we're not quite in the position to afford that. Still need another 3,000 credits or so, but that's going to come through faster than you might expect. And I really do want to get that up and running. So yeah, hostile culture is still too big of a thing.
Prepare to engage the enemy.
We have a Borg colony ship to murder, so let's do that. absolutely murdered. Alright. Yeah, you can see that massive rack of debuffs there. That's, you had the big We Are the Borg thing. Yeah, that's actually an ability which the Assimilation Cube has. But for all of its big scary rar, we can actually take this ship. And again, it's pulled out. Really doesn't want anything to do with that game. So we can actually colonize Mercury, so we're going to get a head start on that. As soon as I find... There's the Endeavour. And it's actually did it by itself. So we should have this colonized very shortly. There we go. Okay. So we need that. We're going to need some fortifications against bombardment. Let's get a couple of upgrades there. The main thing about getting a rank each of logistical and tactical is that gives us, each of those gives us an extra constructor, so we can get our stations up really quickly. Speaking of rapid construction, this is something we actually got before. Efficient construction, which is from the Cardassian Treaty, which is a buff to structure build rate. So we're going to get a repair dock up. We're going to want a rack of turrets and defense stations, but for right now, the priority is getting all of these mining areas dealt with. And then we're probably going to dump a bunch of refineries just to maximize the income there. Cool. So that's that claimed. We are also going to want a subspace relay station at some point. But let's not overinvest, just in case the board come knocking and we end up losing everything we have. That would be awkward, and it can actually happen. Now, if I am not much mistaken... There we go. We can get an Excalibur or a Polaris, and I'm actually going to get a Polaris, just because Frontline Punch sounds like a good plan. So we've got everything building here. I don't believe anything actually needs hull repair. We do have some stuff which needs their shields boosted, but there's only so much we can do about that. Main thing to do there actually is just to go ahead and get the research around here, which we have been neglecting. We talked about getting some buffs to all of these incremental stuff a while ago, so let's get a move on with that. And some little economy stuff. So that's basically completely drained us. But our fleet is looking in pretty good shape, and I think we're going to move out again. We're going to want to drop some defenses here at some point, and I can actually queue up some stuff, so let's go ahead and get the Sol Defense Station. It's probably a good deterrent against stuff like the bombardment run, which they did on us earlier. Speaking of which, we're going to need to get a colony ship through here. So, I'm going to go ahead and get a colony ship, send it through here, and then I can turn it into an outpost to provide some extra defenses. Multitasking, getting the most out of everything.
What's on your mind? Adjusting coordinates.
But the main thing about going through to Sol, apart from just keeping the fleet moving and doing stuff, is that being in orbit of a star actually boosts antimatter regeneration and shield restore rate, which is really helpful for us, because the Borg do not have shields. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, we're going to take out all of these wedges, which as you can see are incredibly squishy. They actually have less hull than a less overall defenses than one of our basic frigates. and their attack damage is pretty terrible. But they're a huge threat because they have a really long range, and the torpedoes don't look that scary, but they get a pretty sizable damage buff against structures. So we definitely don't want them getting anywhere near our main areas here. So we have our colony ship. We'll chain that up here. We have our defense fleets running around here. Looks like they're not actually doing much, because as far as they're concerned, I kind of don't exist. I have a couple of stations here, but I don't actually own this planet, so why don't they care? Now they are still firing on us, and we may actually lose this Defiant in particular. Yeah, we may actually lose a couple of them. Because they weren't looking overly healthy after battle with the Borg. And they are a little outnumbered here, no matter how much firepower they have.
Station complete.
But again, I'm not super worried about that. I have other priorities, shall we say.
Impulse power. Take us out.
Yeah, moving around takes a while on this map.
Station complete.
Okay, where are you guys going? They're turning around. Interesting.
Red alert. Armed torpedo.
Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead and tell them to attack. We've got other stuff we can be getting on with. We've got our colony ship moving through there. So that colony ship there is actually working on building a starbase, so we will have one there soon, which will be a good fallback position. In the meantime, how's our fleet doing? We've got a couple of Excelsiors, and we've got our last Defiant. Just steadily chewing on these guys. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be in the long run, but it's at least a presence there.
Prepare the colonists.
So yes, you can go ahead and deal with that. Now, let's take a quick look at our Dreadnought. These take a while to build, as you can see. So it's not going to be coming up anytime soon, but if we just zoom in quickly. Lovely.
Station.
It is actually not that far off finishing, so we might get to see that before the end of the episode. It is a nice detail of this game that you can see ships as they're being constructed. And it's helpful because it means you can get some advance warning on when people are doing stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get a huge mob of Danubes. Normally you'd want a kind of a mix of fighters and bombers, but the main thing about dealing with the Borg is they don't have any kind of fighters.
Course to intercept.
Oh boy. So the Borg appear to have come back, and they have a little more to work with now. Okay, we're going to need some subspace relays, like ASAP. I'm actually going to double up on those, just to make sure that we're not going to run into too much trouble, but that might not come up quick enough. 18 seconds, we might be okay. You can see that's going down pretty quickly.
Yes.
But we have... I mean, this isn't the worst thing it could be, but they do still have
Full power to the engines.
a total of 3 capital ships and a bunch of support vessels. So, yeah, I'm going to pull back a little bit.
Power. Take us out.
And we'll see what happens with that. But the good news is, hey look, the USS Iowa is ready for action. So we're going to tell that to move through to Earth. And in the next episode, we are going to see what we can do to get things together and hopefully survive this imminent Borg incursion. Oh boy. So until next time, folks, stay safe.